The bill was already, you said, had passed through the Senate, and now it has to go back through the Senate. What is the name of that bill? Because I do know we can also reach out to our senators, and our congressional people and I know put pressure on them to make sure that they pass the bill. But I would just need to know what the name of that is so we can begin to do
No,
that.
the bill what I was talking about is not the big bill that passed. It's the first one I went in and I spoke in Capitol Hill. That particular bill, it was just sitting for a while. So they went in and they went and they voted again on it. It passed, but the next bill that needs to be passed, you have to get, I think it's 10 Republicans to also get on the bill too. So that's the only way that this bill can be put into effect.
Yeah.
I think that was the
That's
act, the George Floyd's
Right.
act.
Fact.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we
Yeah.
definitely need to
yeah.
be writing to our Republican Senate, everyone, even local. I'm also going to add, please make sure you follow the moderators, especially Philonis. And also, if you're following Philonis, you can also follow him on Instagram as well to keep up with what he's doing within the community. Laban, before we go to the queue, do you have anything that you want to add?
Do you asking me?
I was asking Laban. All right, we're going to go to Sarah. You
Hi, thank you so much. I am so grateful to be in here and I'm so glad we're having this conversation. First, I wanted to say to everyone, if you can invite people into this room because it's not showing up in the hallway, and this is a really important conversation that I think a lot of people need to be a part of. And I actually had left just to check that. So if you feel like this is a conversation that people should be a part of, please invite them into the room because it's not showing up for people. And I would love to have a huge community of people in here to hear um, all of this. But I'm sorry, so
one
if I
second,
missed
Sarah.
part of the,
One
okay.
second, Sarah. I'm sorry to cut you off. Dr. Julio, you might want to just open up uh, the room. I'm not
No,
sure.
no, it's open. The
Oh,
room
it's
is
open?
public.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh,
room
okay.
is
Go
public.
ahead, Sarah.
Oh, that's the one note I wanted to, but just as being not Black, I'm just going to say it. Like, what are three things that you would want the people in the audience to know to be the best allies they can and the best advocates for this cause? Because I know we can sit here and we can be empathetic and we can do what we can do, but what is it that you think we should be doing from your perspective? Because I think that's really an important conversation for us to have, because there's a lot of people saying do this and do that, but being on the side of the cause and being part of that family, what do you think is the most important things that people in the audience who are white or not Black should be doing to support this cause? Because I think it's so important. I think people want to be involved, but I don't know that everyone knows where to start.
First thing, never judge a book by its cover. I done seen a lot of people going to different places, and just because they're the African American descent, or they don't even have to be African American, they can just have your shade of color is different. People look at you strange, and I don't like that. I don't like that. Even as a truck driver, when I went to the casino to get a bite of food on the road, this was in Pennsylvania. I walked in, I was talking to a Caucasian man, and we was speaking about what was going on with the crap table and things like that. But he was telling me he was waiting on his friends so they can go golfing. All of a sudden, he see his friend, and he said, "Hey, I'm over here." His friend looked up, see me, and took off walking the other way without even trying to pay attention to him. And all of a sudden, I said, like, I'm looking up, like, what did I do? Did he do something wrong? All of a sudden, his friend said, "Hey, it's okay. He's a good one." I don't understand why people do the things like that. Like I tell you, I'm not racist. I'm not none of that. I love everybody. I have love for anybody that has love for me. My biggest concern is the fear that others have. That's the biggest problem, because I can walk these streets every day and I will never have any type of fear when I'm out here because of where I come from. A lot of people weren't brought up like me. So That's one of my biggest concerns. I want everybody to be treated with respect. That's the first option right there. That's the number one rule. Everybody should be treated with respect. Number two is that people, when they come to you, they're coming to you for different reasons. I speak with them. I talk. We have the best conversations, and most of the time I'm doing it over the phone, and people can never even tell if I'm African American descent because when I'm speaking with them, when we engaging in a conversation, they forget all about that because of how funny I am. I talk to them. I don't say negative things, just like how you was talking to me. So that's to me that's the like second best thing about me. And I want everybody else to be able to react to different situations like me. And also anywhere that we go around this world, I don't care what color you are, black, brown, white, green, it doesn't matter. People when they spot somebody, the first thing you do, you have to speak. You never should have your head down. You never should be looking off like forget these people because what that does to people is tell them that's why they don't talk to people. That's why I don't want to be around people. I know I see a lot of people in this world like that. They say I don't want to talk to people. And most of the time they don't want to talk to the Caucasian people or they don't want to talk to Asian people or they don't want to talk to Chinese people. They don't want to talk to nobody because they said the reaction that people give them is not a good reaction because they might have green hair, they might have red hair, but they're still people. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Everybody is here for a reason. And to me, we're all sisters and brothers. It's just that we have different.
And I think, to add to that, this now, as y'all come when y'all come on the stage, you see the rules, right? So you, as long as you don't attack someone personally, you have the freedom to say whatever you want to say, right? My problem has always been this: black people have always. This is one of those things that I've always noticed. Um, when it happens to us, when something that negative happens to us, we stand up, we march. But I don't see. There's such a lack of self confidence, I think, in the black community that we have to get rid of as a whole. And I remember, I'm still reminded of that old uh, statement that Dr. King made. He said, "No Lincolnian Emancipation Proclamation can do this for us. No Kennethsonian nor Johnsonian Civil Rights Bill can do this for us. If the Negro is to truly be free, he must move down deep into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-asserted manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation and be able to say, yes, I'm black and I'm proud of it. I'm black and I'm beautiful." I think in America, what we're seeing now is that revolution of values that he talked about. We're starting now to wake back up. Um, and I think we have to continue that trend. We have to continue to stick together because, from what it seems to me, no one cares about us as much as we do. And I think that as a society and as a class and as a race of people, we need to understand that in order for us to really get past this situation, we have to take these negatives and make a positive out of them. And that's something we ain't been doing for a long time. You know. But I'm gonna mute myself and who is next? Mature, is it Gwen?
Yes, it's
Yes, hi.
Gwen.
Thank you for much. Uh, First of all, Mr. Floyd, my deepest and continued condolences because of the hole in your heart that you spoke about. And I do thank you for your courage in the midst of your grief process. Um, my question was already asked, but I had a second part of it relative to his children. And one of the things that I was looking at your title, and the first thing that came to my mind is that from nooses to knees to laws is where we need to go. And the law you're talking about was the HR 7120 that passed in the House about the George Floyd Policing Act. And relative to questions, and I'm going to be brief, is what we have lacked is collaborative, unified, strategic agendas that we have been so many times left out of the room, much less being able to sit at the table. And my question to Mr. Floyd is there a, a collaborative unit from your family or people helping your family to have us strategically in all 50 states press for policing reform, supporting the bills that are being put in it, being watchmen and watchwomen to this? And what we have lacked is the lack of access and education in the political arenas. Stacey Abrams kind of enlightened us to see that it can be done in Georgia. And I just want to volunteer to be a part of that. And I believe this is what Sarah was talking about, even on this platform, that we strategically can be the power of one to call our lawmakers in both the House and the Senate, first know who they are, and call them and say that and you can call in, they have public numbers to take a stance. Even if you don't know the name of the law, say, I want to be a voice that we need reform and dismantling of systemic laws that keep in place voter suppression and any other kind of suppression, and police reform. So if we can just do that, from this is a call to action on this platform, let us just take a moment to say, I will call my representative in the House. I'll first find out who they are, and the Senate, and make a phone call. We can at least do that. And if there's a strategy that comes out of this room, rather than rhetoric, which I hope, that we should be able to find, it maybe in your profile, sir, Mr. Julio, that we can double back in a week or so and say, this is strategic agendas that we have said that come out of, birthed out of this room. And that's how we do it. We go from rhetoric to specific to paper, because that's the only way that it's going to change. Our good intentions, our fervent prayers are wonderful, but we need to go from knees to laws. And I thank you for the privilege. I hope I have offended no one. I'm praying also, I'm praying that we could have something tangible that many of us can leave as a legacy for the daughter. And I'm waiting for those agendas to come. Respectfully so, I'm done speaking.
You said a mouthful, and I enjoyed every last bit of it because, like you said, hey, you can't talk about it. We have to be about it. If there's power in numbers, and we're stronger in numbers, just like you were saying. So, you have to call the elected officials, find out whatever state you in. But the biggest concern with what's going on is people, they just talk about it for a limited amount of time and then they'll sweep it up under the rug after you forget about it. So you have to stay, just like you said, we have to stay upright and we have to be out in front and we have to let these people know that we're knowledgeable of what's going on and we're willing to change everything at the drop of a dime if y'all don't get behind us, because we're tired of seeing this. 1950 and 1960 is when the first like major civil movement started, and till today, starting when my brother passed, this was the biggest movement ever. And I understand why people were doing the things that they were doing, but they were doing it because they knew what was wrong in the video. And you just spoke and said a lot. I thank you for that.
You're most
Amen. Amen.
welcome.
Uh, this is Dr. Julio again, guys. You know, when we got to look at the connect. We got to connect the dots, right? The only time, as I've told people, and as other people have said this before me, Thomas Jefferson said that from time to time the tree of liberty must be watered with the blood of tyrants and patriots. And I've said that the only time that change actually occurs in any nation, but especially in the United States, is through the spilling of blood or the spending of dollar bills. And I think that what we're seeing with this incident, as tragic as it was, I believe wholeheartedly we are seeing a revitalization of the same spirit that was with us in the civil rights movement. Because make no mistake about it, our struggle is not over. We've made progress, but it's not enough to make steps in the right direction by no stretch of the imagination. What we need to do as a people is bring together and elect and send to the Congresses and to the state houses and to the legislatures men and women of goodwill, of genuine goodwill, who are concerned with God, the Constitution, and the country. And I think that what we're also seeing is that people don't they I think, and Felonious, please speak to this. Is it fair to say that sometimes black people don't move until they have a reason to move and a leader to move with?
Uh, you can say that, but I'm gonna tell you, I can honestly say this. If you put a dog in the corner, they're gonna come out fighting. If you pin a squirrel in the corner, they're gonna come out fighting. It's just your instincts. When you've seen something like that, that was barbaric. That was something that people said didn't exist. When you're in school, they teach you about different things in life, slavery, but a lot of adults were running around telling their kids that this doesn't exist. There's no such thing. But their kids, they're going to school with African American kids. They're playing with them. They're having fun with them. So right now, it's more Caucasian people out there marching than it is African Americans marching because there's a lot more of them out there and they're marching for what is right. Because, man, look, people get comfortable, and a lot of people are comfortable with African American people. It's the older people that having the problems.
I agree. I agree that as they say, the good old boys that's still around that have a problem with us. Let's see. Let's go next. Angela.
Hello. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name properly. Will you say it for me again?
Malone.
Philonis. I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that since we lost George in the way that we did, I have been forever changed and I will not be the same. And I just thank you and your family for allowing us to grieve with you. And I I also know that this loss is not going to be in vain. I know that a lot of us have joined together in ways that we have not recently as a society, and that there's been a lot of work that's been inspired. And I just want to say that for me personally, it was a reminder because I think for my generation, whose parents marched on Washington with Dr. King and um, protested and organized in their own ways, we'd gotten comfortable in a whole lot of ways and had stopped doing the things that we should be doing. One of the speakers talked about knees to action. And, you know, even though I've worked as a lawyer and done a lot of things, I realized that I could do more. And so I started thinking, well, what can I do? And I became active with my NAACP membership again, and I encouraged friends to join civil rights organizations and do things because honestly, we all need to figure out what we can do and not just take things for granted. Because I knew that just as that was George, it could be my brother or my nephew, and so thank you for being so positive, for sharing with us, for allowing us to be here with you, and for continuing to speak out. It's not so much a question as it is just an expression of gratitude that I wanted to give you today. And know that I am praying for you and your family, and I will continue to pray for you all. This is Angela, and I'm finished.
Thank you for that, Angela. Thank you. Um, I think we have to really understand that this issue is so far-reaching. And I want to ask this to you, Philonis. there are a lot of people, and well, this is really to all the moderators. I have about 75 messages right now of people that are hearing about this conversation but are unable to find the room.
Yeah, me
Philonis, would
too.
you be willing to let us close this room down and open it up again, to allow people to ask you questions? I literally have, well, now 76 messages of people that would love to get in, but for some reason can't find the room. Would that be fine with all of the moderators?
Yeah, Dr. Julio, I hate to butt in, but can you try opening it not under the club? That's
Well,
That's what
that's
she's
what we're
why
gonna
it's
do,
saying.
Sarah.
blocking.
That's
Okay.
That's what
that's what
she's
that's what I'm
saying.
saying, Sarah. Philonis, go ahead,
No,
brother.
So
I'm okay with it. I have my wife is here with me, but I don't know if she wants to speak. I always try to. They be telling her, "You need to speak up. You need to
She,
speak
oh
up."
yeah, let her in. Absolutely.
She
yes.
does. She act like she don't want to be involved.
No, come
Let me
on,
get it
talk
down.
to us. Talk to us. Please do it.
And
Uh,
Felonious, before we close the room and reopen, if you are in the audience, everyone, please make sure that you follow all the moderators, including Felonious. He has requested that himself. Please make sure that you're following him so when we open the next room, you can come right in.
yes.
If you follow us, we'll try to follow you. We'll try to follow you right back.
Yeah.
And that way we can ping everyone.
Yeah.
So,
Because Clubhouse loves throwing me in follow back jail. So if you would, I'll do a countdown. I'll do a 10-second countdown. And we'll close the room down. We'll open it under a public room, make sure everybody can come in.
Hey,
And then, like I said, we will restart this. Philonis, thank you so much. We're
Julio,
going to restart it.
Julio, one
Yes.
question. Do we want to go ahead and open that room now while this
Yes.
one is open? I think we should probably do that. Open that room now while
So
this
what
one
I'll
is
do,
open,
yeah,
and
so
then we
I can step
migrate.
away and I can open that one.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
And yeah.
What
Okay.
do I need to do? Do I need to hang up and then
so
y'all?
No, all you need to
Uh,
do, Philonis, is you stay in the room and Dr. Watson and then will guide you how to get
yeah.
back
okay,
to
okay.
So
me.
Felonious, we'll do exactly what we did. The starting of the conversation, just search for my name again, and then
We can ping them. We
yeah,
can
we'll
ping
ping
them.
you
We'll
in.
ping you, so you'll see it'll pop up on your screen
Yep.
to join the room.